Thank you so much, Payman. And thank you everyone from the PARS Equality Center for being here tonight. I'm so happy to be here. And we understand that it's such a fluid situation where everything is changing so rapidly. But we would like, us in the mayor's office, would like to do everything we can to make sure that we provide as much clarity as we can on the resources that are available for small businesses. So with that, let me just, before we even start a presentation, I just want to share this slide with you from the McKinsey and Company. So what I love about this graph, it just really shows the steps that every business has to take. One, resolve, right? So many of us have to lay off our employees or find ways to pivot our business to do it at home or some other way. And the second one is resilience. And this is what most of this presentation is about, really having, cash through time, finding ways that how can I weather this process, right? Weather this time. And that's what this is based upon. But I just want to let you know, it's a long process. I know everybody's very overwhelmed, but it's it's a step at a time, and I hope everybody can understand that. So here we go. So as many of you know, now we have non-essential businesses and essential businesses. The non-essential are supposed to cease operations, and they're permitted to conduct business, basic operations. So we do have a lot of people asking, hey, can I still go into my office and do some work? Yes, you still can do that. Does it mean that you can have all your employees come in? No, you can't do that. You can't have your customers come in either, but you can still go in and continue minimum basic operations like inventory, security, custodial services, payroll, etc. In terms of essential business, however, now we have different mandates. One of them is to provide or reimburse cost of cloth face coverings for employees. If you haven't done so, please do. And if you can't find any, please go to visit laprotects.org, and we can provide you face coverings, or at least connect it to people that can provide it for you. Businesses also need to implement social distancing measures for employees and customers, allow employees to wash their hands every 30 minutes, give them easy access to the bathroom and hand washing facilities, and having soap and water and hand sanitizer ready at their disposal. But one of the things that I think is one of the most important things that I think there's still some confusion around is the social distancing protocol. People think social distancing protocol is just telling people, hey, you have to stay 6 feet apart, but it's actually a document that's available at publichealth.lacounty.gov. I believe it's around 3 pages long. And within the document, you have to answer several questions. For example, you have to describe how many people you're allowing in your store, where your lines are designated within your store, if you have signs posted all over your business, and how often do you disinfect high touch surfaces, and there's much more than that. It's 3 pages long, and that has to become then Appendix A and attached to the mayor's safer at home order. That's very clear. It's very important. And once they do that, they have to give a copy to each one of their employees, as well as post that on at or near the entrance of their business. And I gotta say, increasingly small business owners are becoming very, very worried about liability. What if one of my employees gets sick in my business, right? And we understand that you can always go towards workers' comp, but regardless, it's very important that you provide this kind of information to your employees, as well as make sure you implement these protocols in your business. And I don't know if who is a grocery or drug retailer or food delivery provider, there's also been new orders that mandate that you have to allow an employee to decline any orders if anything related to example, if their child needs daycare, if their member is sick, or if they themselves feel ill, or they feel like they suspect that they might have been exposed to COVID-19. In addition to that, before you can hire a new part-time worker or a new worker, period, you have to provide, like, offer this position to a current part-time worker. So say you have a part-time worker and you want to hire another part-time worker, that doesn't really, it's not allowed anymore. You first have to offer it to that part-time worker that you already have. And as long as that person is reasonably determined by you that he's qualified to do the work, then that job should go to that person. In addition, now sales of alcoholic beverages are permitted by restaurants for off-site consumption, for delivery and takeout, as well as by retail stores. And that extends the hours from 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. Parking enforcement is also relaxed. An extended grace period given to vehicles owned and operated by manufacturing or healthcare workers. And lastly, all deadlines prescribed in the LA Municipal Code pertaining to public hearings, including like expiration dates for utilization of existing approvals, are all told and suspended until further notice. So one of the topics that everyone is very concerned about is really the commercial eviction moratorium. The commercial eviction moratorium, and if you also look into the state order, it's really about providing, you have to provide, as a tenant, you have to declare in writing no more than 7 days after the rent comes due that you can't pay all or part of the rent due to COVID-19. We had several tenants, call our office and ask and talk about this myriad of documentation that their landlord would request, and that's not required that you provide all sorts of documentation. You can choose to provide any documentation that you like. However, what you're supposed to do is just provide in writing and retain a sort of communication that proves that that you're unable to you're impacted by COVID-19. And after the safer at home orders are lifted, then at that point, you have 3 months to pay back all due rent. And what we try to do, and what we try to advise everyone, is to make sure you speak to your landlord, work together, because it is going to be very, very difficult for so many people to pay all of their rent in even 3 months time, right? So it's very important that you're proactive and you speak to your landlord and make sure that you work on a payment plan so that you're able to pay everything back. For those that pay mortgage, it's not automatically that every mortgage payment there's a grace period for it. It's only certain financial institutions that provide a 90 grace period for mortgage payments. The governor released the relief package where he had many financial institutions jump on this, and that whole entire list can be found on that website provided at dbo.ca.gov. There you can find all the entire list of all the financial institutions that have agreed to give 90-day grace period. For water and power moratorium on shutoffs, yes, it is extended to the end of the local emergency period. However, you still owe the payment. So I also highly advise that you request a payment plan at ledwp.com. You don't know how hard it's going to be when you do go back to business, or when things come back to normal, or suddenly when your rent is due. So as much as you can, request a payment plan. I think it'll be beneficial for every business owner. In addition to that, we highly recommend that you also contact all your insurance providers, everything from like home to car insurance providers, etc., because they can also provide you with some sort of assistance at this time as well. One of the things that many people, their misconception is that everything's automated. I don't have to pay anything at this point because COVID-19. However, that's not true. So just be very careful. You do have to do a lot of follow-up Federal income tax, yes, automatically you have until July 15 to pay your taxes. California income tax, yes, you have until July 15, 2020 to pay your taxes. The California state business tax and fees. Well, that you do have a 90-day extension for tax returns and tax payments for business filing a return for less than $1 million in taxes. But if you have more than $1 million in liability, in tax liability, then you do have to make that request in writing to the cdtfa.ca.gov. And you should visit that depending on the industry they're in. There's new due dates for taxes and fees as well. And there's also a 60-day extension to file a claim for refund. Sales and use tax. Again, the governor has released this relief package where you can make a payment plan for up to $50,000. So say you owe money for sales tax for your business, you can make a payment plan within the 12 months and pay little by little. However, you do have to make a payment plan request. It's not automatic. And the state payroll tax, that as well, you may request up to 60-day extension of time to file state payroll reports and or deposit state payroll taxes without penalty or interest. But again, you have to make a written request within 60 days from the original delinquent date. And finally, the LA County property taxes, it was done on April 10th. But if there, for any reason you weren't able to pay due to reasons related to COVID-19, make sure you submit a request for penalty cancellation. Okay. So, and finally, I just want to go over very quickly on the different loans that are available for small businesses. I don't know how much information everyone knows about each one of them. So please let me know if I should slow down in it at any point, or if you have any additional questions. But the CD Micros loan, we provide between $5,000 to $20,000, interest-free for a term of up to 18 months. And the repayments are deferred for up to 6 months. Or if you like, you can also have an interest rate at 3% for a term of 5 years, with payments deferred for 12 months. There's no fees at all for that. And you can find it at ewddlacd.com. For the federal loans, which are the most popular loans at this point, just because they have the grant portion to it and the forgivable portion. First, the EIDL. So what EIDL does is help your business overcome the temporary loss of the COVID-19. So they are going to ask you for a lot of documentation for, what your earnings were the previous year, because they want to make a comparison of what you made last year comparison to now. And that would offer up to $2 million in assistance. The interest rate is 3.75 for small businesses. And there is a loan advance, the Emergency Economic Injury Grant, that's up to $10,000. The $10,000, because there was so many people wanting this grant, now they're limiting to $1,000 per employee. So say you have only 3 employees, the most you can get for the grant is $3,000. But if you have 20 employees, the most you can get is $10,000. The SBA Paycheck Protection Program, that one covers the cost of really just retaining employees, because they just didn't want to overwhelm the system, the unemployment system as well. So in this part, they loan up to $10 million with a maturity of 2 years and an interest rate of 1% only. Payments are deferred for 6 months. There's no fees, no collateral, and no personal guarantees are required. However, what's really important to remember about this is that 75% of the loan, you have to use it towards payroll. Which makes sense, because when they give you the loan, they'll ask you how much have you used on payroll, and they'll times it by 2.5, and that will become your loan. And they expect you to use 75% to pay your employees for 8 weeks. And another part of it, the remainder, the remaining 25%, you have to use it towards rent, mortgage interest, or utilities. And another caveat of this, you cannot hire less people, and you have to keep salaries at the same level. The SBA debt relief, is really for people that already have an SBA loan already. And the SBA Express Bridge loan is for people that already have like a relationship with an SBA Express lender. And that provides like $25,000 of bridge lending while you're waiting for the other loans to be available. And recently they just released the Main Street Business Lending Program. We're still waiting to find more information on that. There are some concerns that they'll put more businesses into debt. It does lend you up to like, I believe 3 times more than what you made the year previously, the year prior. So it's just something that you should look into, but just be very careful not to take too many loans, right, through this process. The state offers this amazing work sharing program. So if you have some employees, like you have some employees and they can only work part-time now because you can't afford to keep them full-time. What they have, the work sharing program, as long as you keep them for like 40% of the time, they'll pay the remainder. They'll give them like unemployment benefits during that time. So it's a way for you and for you to keep your employees and for the state to help you make sure that they're receiving their full salaries. In addition to that, I just want to share some of the loans that are below. If you haven't, EIDL and PPP, it's understandably, it's very competitive right now. And the state and the House just passed another thing for more money, but another initiative for money. But some people still are having they have really hard time finding financing from the federal government. So that's where the state iBank disaster relief loan guarantee program, the California iBank Jumpstart loan programs are great for anyone that's really having difficulty getting federal loans. Because what is the disaster relief program loans up to 20 million, max guarantee 1 million, and it's up to 7 years. And what's so great about it, it guarantees up to 80% to 95% of the loan. Whereas the California Jumpstart loan program, it's specifically for people that are in low to moderate income areas, or if they're low to moderate income business owners. And whereas the California Capital Access Program, what it does, it provides up to 100% coverage on losses as a result of certain loan defaults. Okay, so if you're impacted by this and you're defaulting on some loans, they can provide you that access capital to make sure that you are secure during this time. Businesses are awarded up to, I believe that for the CalCap, the maximum loan amount is 5 million. And individual borrowers are limited to like a maximum of like 2.5 million enrolled over a 3-year period. And lastly, we have the county grant and the loan. The county grant, they announced it like a couple of days ago, and then the entire thing was gone by in 2 hours. So it's very important that you kind of continue to follow up to see if there's going to be another round of grants available. Whereas the business recovery loan, that provides you a max of $20,000 with an interest rate of 2.44% and a 5-year term. And the interest and the payments are deferred for another 12 months. And what's so great about it too, there's no collateral. If you're having a hard time applying for these loans, we do have a partnership with the county, and it's called LA Cares Corp. We provide SBA loan assistance. And we also have if you're interested in buying or manufacturing cloth face coverings, you can go to laprotects.org. If you need help hiring people at this time, we have lajobsportal.org and our workforce centers. Workforce centers, they do have a program where they will, if you hire someone from within their program, they will pay part of the salary as well. So it's something that hopefully you can also look into. And LADWP, you can request a payment plan. And if you have a hotel or motel that can be donated or sold, please visit our coronavirus.lacd.org/rooms. If you want to buy or sell medical personal protective equipment that's like N95s, and such, please visit lovela.org. And if you're a restaurant and you want to request temporary food pickup parking, please visit ladot.foodpickupzone at lacity.org. And one of the things that people don't, they're not aware of is just that the city and the county provides several different ways for you to get one-on-one consultation for completely free. So if any of you are having a hard time getting all the documentation together to apply for these loans, or if you're looking for different kinds of loans that you're not too aware of right now, all of these different partners can help you. The first one that I'll recommend is obviously our LA Business Source Centers. We have 9 of them all over the city of LA, and not only do they provide you help with like financing and applying for loans, they can also help you with everything under the sun, like marketing, business planning, you name it. So anything, even like understanding your financial statements, every little thing that anything that you feel like you're challenged by in your business, even post-COVID or pre-COVID, please visit one of our LA Business Source Centers. And if your business is in like dire need of help because it might close any moment, please also visit our rapid response team. They can provide you all sorts of resources to help you weather this pandemic. And we do have some LA County also provides, if you're in unincorporated areas specifically, do call the LA County Help Center. They have several like layoff aversion programs, as well as programs to help you connect to resources that can help you from closing your business. And that's the same thing for our business source centers and our rapid response. That's something they do as well, layoff aversion and helping you get in touch with other resources that you need to make sure that we just don't want anyone to go out of business during this time. And everything they provide, it's free and one-on-one. And it's really a shame that not more people take advantage of this. And in addition to them, we also have different partners throughout the community, like our local SBDC centers and our SCORE offices and Big Soil Exchange. All of them provide also the same type of help. So please take advantage of this. And everything that I discussed today, and plus so much more, it can be found on these policy guide and the resilience toolkit. The policy guides provides a really quick and very simplified way for you to understand what the orders are, what the policies are from federal, state, and local government, and how they impact your business, as well as how they can maybe benefit your business. The resilience toolkit, on the other hand, it provides a list of different grants and loans, including those that I mentioned here today. And they can all be found at ewddlacd.com. And if you have any questions or if you have any more help, please reach out to us in any of these emails. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Leila. دوستان میتونین اگر که سوالاتی دارین توی چت باکس به فارسی و یا انگلیسی بنویسید. من سوالا رو میپرسم. Leila Jan, we do have 3 questions so far. So the first, it says that I applied for $10,000 loan. I'm self-employed and I don't have any full-time employees. Do I receive any money, or at least 10,000 or something like that?
Is he referring to EIDL?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, so both the EIDL and the PPP loans are available for sole proprietors, even independent contractors and self-employed. So you do not have to have any employees. However, for the grant that I don't know if you're referring to the grant, the $10,000 grant, that one, it is based on how many employees you have. I think being that you're on your own, you might limit your grant to $1,000 only.
Thank you. The second question, it says, I applied for EIDL as a sole proprietorship about 3 weeks ago, but I didn't get any response. How long does it take to get approved?
So normally it takes 30 to 90 days.
Okay.
And we're hearing really little by little that people are getting approved, but it's very slowly. So you're not alone. Everybody's waiting for that one. Yeah. The PPP has been a little bit faster just because you can work with your banking institution, right? So, and especially if you have a relationship with your banking institution, that's why they're kind of reacting a little bit faster. But the EIDL does take a little while.
All right, thank you. Next question, it's more about EDD, but I'm going to ask it. It says that, thank you for the meeting and information. I work at a department store and also as an Uber driver. When I
Mhm.
wanted to apply for EDD just for Uber, it shows me only the store information as a last employer. How can I apply for unemployment insurance only for Uber? When I wanted to add the last employer, it needed W-2 information.
Yeah, I don't know too much about having two jobs and applying for unemployment. I'm going to have to refer to that question, and I'll get back to you. I'll get the answer from some of our experts and our partners in the state, and I'll get back to you. Is that okay?
Great, thank you. And I'm going to relay the information later on. Second question, it says that is the information that was provided today just applied to Los Angeles, or it's also applied to Orange County?